Yo, 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 we live.
Yeah.
Live en vivo. Ajá. Every day.
Every day.
No matter what, no matter what.
Yeah. Whoa.
Every
Yeah.
day. Yo, so
Yeah.
today we almost didn't do this show. You know, I don't know what's going on, but the internet is taking a crap everywhere. We had Twitter's experiencing problems, so like all the sites that I used to do the show, they're having major issues. Do you know anything about it?
I think all the resources going into crypto.
I thought that they started like anonymous started attacking every single of this like major
No,
tech.
this is like year.
Yeah, I mean, but it seems like Twitter is responding somewhat back in line, but we here. That's what matters. Doing the show every day, putting some crypto content, major macroeconomic content, internet, distributed system content. Let's go. So the dollar's still going somewhat on a accumulation area here. People don't know if they're gonna dump their dollar, even though everybody keeps saying to dump. One thing I want to clear with the Dixie is that this index, even though it covers the dollars, is not 100% the price of the dollar. It's just the relationship of the dollar in compared to the rest of these currencies here. So it's like a reference basically. So you may have the Dixie go up as like all of the other assets are going up. Normally they have like a diametrically opposed direction, as like Bitcoin and gold going up, the Dixie normally goes down. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Overall, we're still at the same spot where it's not looking so good right now for the dollar, even though there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Normally, at those times, people want to go back to like stable. So over the past couple days, it's just been holding here at this level. What's crazy that Trading View now has this presidential election vote average. It's funny, Biden is coming down and Trump has been coming up lately. I mean, over the past like day or so. I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that, like a lot of crazy news is coming on Biden's son. So, not only his son, but like the whole group implicating into a lot of different big issues. I'm actually kind of surprised the kind of news that is coming out so public. A lot of the times, this was like news that would be for the conspiracy theorist. Yeah, like they've been basically laundering money offshore, especially in the Ukraine and China, basically, and doing favors for money, basically, political favors for money. So yet this guy is still leading big time, right? Hey, this is not a political channel, but I just thought that this is crazy, this anyway, like whoever believes in voting in 2020 is like you might as well believe in WWE, yeah, I mean, come on. If you want to see a real fight You gotta come and check this out.
In your 16th fight. Who do you want next? You guys know who you want, man. 2020, he'll be going down.
Who you going for?
Shit. I got Loma. Bro.
You taking that
But
experience?
Lopez, I think Lopez gonna get a rematch though. I think it's gonna be a two-part fight.
Yes, of course. Now he's a world champ, and welcome to my club.
I said, welcome to my
See you
club.
in April.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy fight.
I think it's gonna be two fights, bro.
Yeah. Hey, big ups to my boys from the 10 Players Club. They used to do this like anthropomorphizing fighter styles, like making like fighters into the personification of like this animal style of fighting and stuff. So I asked them what do they thought of this fight. They said that this fight will be something like the honey badger, which BTCs often call that the honey badger, right? And versus a raccoon. So, hey, it's in pace two champion. Loma's not quite undefeated, but two champion like young guys. They in on the stats, Lopez is gonna have an advantage in age, but at this point of their career, I think the age advantage is actually for Lomachenko having that much experience. I would have liked this fight a little bit later for Lopez, like 1 or 2 years later, is a few more experience. But I mean, he's young. He got a lot of confidence. It's looking good. I mean, it's crazy. He knocked out the champion. He went for the belt and knocked the guy out. So that's crazy. I mean, these people are fighting. Money is fighting. We have the dollar and the Dixie fighting all of this other currencies, and that's what the Dixie is, right? Like the average price of the dollar against this basket of currencies. It looks like now they want more warfare into DLT now, into like blockchains basically. They want to, the U.S. government in China now trying to use blockchain as a weapon. Yeah, they working on it for sure. It's kind of crazy, right? Like my Bitcoin is bigger than yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like how they gonna do that? I'm not sure. But let's jump right into Bitcoin fighting the dollar pretty good here, holding this range of like between like 11.2 to like 11.6. So if it like breaks one of this level, it's going to continue to the next level pretty much. Here I like to look at the major indicator of the market, level by level. And what we'll do is we'll let the best do the rest. Okay, check the levels. We'll listen to Eric from the Crown Crypto Cave for about 30 seconds.
I'm just going level by level here. So again, even on CMEs, it's very, 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 very well defined. Any sort of a 4-hour total closure, basically below the 21, and I'm looking for a move back down to $11,000 base. $11,000 base is critical to hold. If that does fail, then I look for a price action to come, likely all the way back down. Or maybe it takes a few weeks to happen, but all the way back down to $10,000 base, and then play potentially another bottoming behavior right there as well. To the upside, a little bit easier. I do believe that we could just use yesterday's wick high as continuation. personally speaking, if I'm just looking at Bitcoin's chart here, I actually do think that it moves to the upside. The reason why I'm a little bit more downside angled, or why I had a little bit more of a downside tone today, is 90% due to what we see in traditional markets. Yes, Bitcoin has a few things of its own as well, but personally speaking, I actually think it's gonna give another try to the upside, and probably test 11.3. But at the at the end of the day, that's not a break. Anywhere above 11.550. I'm actually bullish for a move towards, at the very least, 11.8. Very, very likely 12,000, depending.
Okay, so this is great, right? So this was like earlier today at around like 2 o'clock in the morning today, right? So it's what time it is now?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's 9:36.
Yeah, so a lot of the things that he said in there actually played out, where Bitcoin today actually went down to like 11.3 something, held, and now, according to the statistical levels, if we break this 11.5 but hold it for more than like 4 hours, most likely we're going to 11.8 and then 12,000. 12,000 would be like a psychological level where a lot more people are gonna get excited, and we could see continuation into that. But we'll see. We'll keep track of it. Bitcoin is looking good. It's looking amazing. But as always, I like to basically keep going with my own thesis of just mainly watching the total market cap. I'm more interested.
Total market cap. Yeah.
Total market cap, because we're talking about BTC as the leader, and that was so true until like this level this year, until what is that, like June, July, in reality July, right? Like there was a change of behavior here for sure, which I expected way back here, but now it's materializing. Now we have basically, since the last 90 days, you see there where the total market cap has barely ever, it has not gone below 300,000, which is like my level of, like, if we go below that, like we have issues. Okay. The fact that we live in for so long above 350 billion is very bullish. My whole thing is, if we go above, in reality, the calculation it plays out to be about 450 billion, where Bitcoin will be close to, Bitcoin should be close to 13.5, and at that point, we're gonna have another level to, once we jump into this more mature level, we're not coming back. Basically, it was kind of like this level here. Once we broke 100 billion, we kind of like never came back. So the whole thing is, once we start living above 500 billion, the whole market is gonna look completely different. But this is thanks to the new trend of like major corporations disclosing they've been buying crypto. I mean, what, you're gonna buy Bitcoin and I'm gonna buy the rest of the market? Yeah, right. Like, especially people like this, right? Grayscale. Basically they are a company fortune in the stock market, but they are like completely dedicated to the crypto market. But you got like MicroStrategies, that was not a crypto company, was just like another regular company on the Fortune 500, now going big into reality for now into Bitcoin, but is going. My opinion is that they all gonna go big into crypto, and yeah, this treasury list keeps getting bigger and bigger. We'll have this like a sticky note here on this show, showing it every day. you know, Bitcoin obviously showing its strength, and like now in 2020, a lot of like Fortune 500 companies and big entities, uh, institutional money kind of entities are coming public and even telling their customers, like, yeah, you should, right? You should look into this Bitcoin thing. It's a real thing. It's not going nowhere, right? Well, what's starting to happen now is that this kind of same narratives tunes is coming into Ethereum, where now you have not only, big companies disclosing that, yeah, they buying not only Bitcoin and the rest, including Ethereum and the rest, right? And but now you have like government entities saying like, well, Ethereum is something else and it's here to stay. Let's just hear this guy.
I am with Ethereum, full stop, period. Let me just basically say how impressed I am with Ethereum, full stop, period. And that when I think about this as a regulator, I think of it almost analogized to email versus the internet. If Bitcoin is email, a one-trick pony, so to speak, but obviously revolutionary, Ethereum goes far beyond that. It's more like the internet.
Yeah, this is now like regulators and stuff saying like, hey, Ethereum can do a little bit more, right? Um, this is gonna start becoming more and more evident. Like, okay, if Bitcoin is there, but this whole concept of having a smart contract platform in order for you to do some actual utility stuff, which is like most of the excitement right now in the market is like we could do stuff, the biggest the biggest bullish news that I got from this chairman Heath, whoever he is that it looks like they not going to be able to categorize Ethereum as a commodity, because they didn't really know how they can categorize Ethereum as a currency. They can't really, So maybe as a commodity, because now, with like proof of stake and stuff, you can earn yields and that kind of stuff, So it's disrupting law basically, and that was the one thing that we been waiting for, like okay, we've been disrupting computer, now we're disrupting law basically, how these smart contracts are self-enforcing code, and it's kind of cool because they getting really creative, to deliver okay, the code is law in the blockchain, but how do you materialize that in the physical world? And it's like they having people interest by earning and forcing the actual contract, that exists on the blockchain. So a lot, Ethereum is bullish. Obviously, things like this are incredibly crazy for BTC, but Ethereum is like now big entities and stuff are gonna start awakening to the fact that this exists, is out there, we have like this other bullish sign for Ethereum is that you're gonna once we start staking Ethereum into POS, a lot of the supply is going to be diminished, and a lot of the tokens are going to be burned, because the whole economic structure is going to be different. So the fact that is, more and more capabilities are coming into Ethereum, and less coins are going into circulation. So, yeah, that's bullish.
Need a bag of Ethereum.
Yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, we have things like this too. Layer two coming into Ethereum as as well, like where people are because today Ethereum is very limited. As useful as it is, it's still very limited, and we getting things like this, like Aave, which is awesome because Aave was one of the first uh, um, projects out there to, you know, not only deliver the concept of loans on the blockchains, but also yields in there. So they moving into a more favorable and space basically. And like things like Aave and the rest of DeFi, decentralized finance, made Ethereum gas go crazy. We all experienced trying to send a transaction on Ethereum. It was just ridiculously high. So all this new capability are going to bring Ethereum to new highs. Yo, thank you for putting me onto this, guys, man.
St. James, bro. St. John.
St. John.
You nice.
Great
nice.
remix. Love this song. I'm loving it. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have to. Hey, aren't you going to LAX soon?
Yeah, bro. I'm going to LA at the end of the month.
All right. You may ask this guy for a ride. So this guy has been flying around 6,000 feet around the airport. Like, I mean, on a JetPack. Hey, he's braver than me. But yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the whole crypto market is putting his JetPack as well, poised to just start going crazy. Um, hey, thank you to the great teacher, Ivan, the best teacher in the crypto space, for pumping these people. And I started learning more about it. Everybody's been very hype about Filecoin and the fact that they are now finally coming out after their big ICO, $200 million plus ICO, and now they coming live. But things like, I don't even know how to say it, Alipay that I am is crazy. Okay, so check this out.
One, a Filecoin focuses on file storage, especially large files such as videos, images, sounds, documents, i.e. PDF, and can also act as a CDN, whereas IM focuses on database, computing, and DID.
So it's a totally different approach, from like your normal storage coin, So they did their Medium blog post showing some of the difference. I thought this was the craziest here.
2. At Filecoin and IM may actually be used as complementary technologies. You could have an app using smart contracts on Ethereum and database, computing and DID on IM, and finally store large files on Filecoin. Number decentralized storage composability.
So basically, these people are not even competing. It's like something that you can add to, and it looks to me like the fact that they have a total different concept. They are a bit more useful than like a normal file space.
3. We have very different number network topology. At Filecoin built its own custom blockchain using a novel consensus mechanism called proof of storage, whereas at all of IM is not a blockchain but a cross-chain scalability network built on top of technology such as libp2p and GossipSub.
So these people, they not even a whole blockchain basically. They are a different type of protocol, just connecting different type of file storage networks. So yes, this is crazy. And a lot of this stuff is gonna be, the common denominator here is Ethereum. So yeah, the fact that they are also connecting with Polkadot, I assume also Kusama, they going to have a lot of flexibility. Unlike the flexibility that we have in the dollar, basically, right? We don't have no flexibility. You have to take it to the grave. Okay, the fact that we keep preaching, they keep printing, like, if this is just ridiculous, right? Like, they keep printing at an incredible rate, so we asking for more stimulus. While you see this line here, obviously this amount, we haven't printed that ever, and this was just in 1 quarter they did that. Okay, this is from the Fred. Okay, you can do your own research. They do a lot of Federal Reserve basically cartography, just keeping up with what the Feds is doing. And you see this is crazy, because you see this huge amount of money printed. We're talking about, in reality, when you add all of that and more that is not even accounted for in this chart, we're talking about more than $10 trillion already, in a few months. Yet we have the slowest speed of money we ever experienced, basically. So back in the 90s, everybody was happy. We had a good time because the money was flowing. The money was just everywhere moving, right? Now they printing all this money, and they did a credit crunch, so they not lending money. Why? Because they know that people are in trouble, so they not gonna lend money. They are raising basically interest. This is in particular to credit card interest rate are the highest they ever been. But the fact that they are raising all of the requirements for credit, and only lending money and only giving money basically, to the people that they want, and they have a perception that they going to be able to pay, like the corporates, right? So all of this money that you see being printed here is not being delivered through the trickle down economy anymore. Is all going into corporate interests, and into the stock markets, basically. Yeah, even, but this is going to be tricky, because even though you see the stock market pumping, to its all-time highs, this party is not going to last forever. Okay, at some point here, the markets are gonna have to correct big time Why? Because there's gonna, how much stimulus they can do into the economy every time. So every time that they stimulate the economy, as you see here, yeah, we get a pump. But every time they stop, um, there's no more money to come around, right? Um, Now, if you see this end of basically in the balance sheet, if you see this end of the stimulus corresponds with the slow pace of the markets. At some point, this is not gonna work, and we're gonna jump into basically a new reality. Is gonna be kind of tough to pass it through, but this is why we gotta do Galactic Money every day, so we can have some awareness. We'll let Raul Paul from Real Vision explain the last little part of the party, basically.
There's the underlying narrative, and we're transitioning from hope to insolvency. Just remember, if you look at this last chart, this is the rally now versus the rally in 1929. It kind of peaked out around these levels and this time. Also,
So you see, you see the rally always before the big correction, right? So, like he talks about like going from hope. This is hope, right? So we have the correction, and we coming back. Like we hoping, I guess, that stimulus can save this economy. And we all know, I mean, anybody that is half awake, we all know that that's not going to happen for so long. So since that is not going to happen, you have to make it happen. And the way we make it happen is with that time. It's time for the speculator.
Yeah.
It's time for the speculator.
Yeah.
It's time for the speculator.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. ETH, BTC, Cosmos.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey,
Bridge.
Bridge. Los Psychotronics. Tron. So, Alafay at $8 million market cap. Yeah, it's about that time. It's about that time to speculate. So, yes, I spoke a little bit about it. Everybody's jumping through hoops for Filecoin. It's a big player together with big guys backing it. It was like basically the first coin out of Silicon Valley, basically. So yeah, as I said yesterday, the storage space is as worth as the availability and the tools connected to. So one thing that Filecoin is going to have, they're going to have some crazy tools. A lot of Silicon Valley people working on it, but this Alipay people could have some sort of disruption in this space. So at $8 million, this is nothing. This is something, obviously, you see the competition. Filecoin, 200 million right now, whatever is going to come out in the market. But yeah, I am jumping into this very soon. Aside from the fundamentals, though, you got somewhat of like what it seems to be a good entry, because you saw the pump. It went up to what, 0.6, so 6 cent, right? And it's now 1 cent. So you could do a few X's here. if it goes and revisits its all time highs, which it should if they continue to develop, right? There's a lot of attention nowadays into Filecoins. Yes, so I like that. Um, I want to keep pumping. So, full disclosure, obviously, all the coins that we mentioned, we either have it or going to buy it pretty soon. We try to be really transparent. So it's not like we pumping our own bags, but we are. So this Darwinian bridge token, right? Like to connect different type of blockchains into Polkadot and into Kusama. They have a lot of reach, basically. And as you can see, yes, it did jumped all the way to 16 cent, and now it's like less than well, it's 3 cent, right? So you could do a few of you could double your money a few times here. When we'll see. The good thing is that it has not recovered yet, so it's still time to get in here. And lastly, I want to pump Parsec because it's one of the first big project coming out of Algorand. Algorand is like it's like an Ethereum that has grown tremendously over the past couple of months, and they seem to have good technology. The fact that a group of people like the developers in Parsec chose Algorand when they could have just went for Ethereum because all the liquidity is on the Ethereum means that they chose Algorand because of utility, and the good thing I like about Algorand is a bit more decentralized than a lot of the proof of stake systems out there. Parsec Parsec itself is somewhat of like a Google to blockchains. You could do a lot of just like queries and search on different blockchains. They have a lot of code already delivered. It's somewhat useful already. We had this like big scare where there was a hack in Qcoin and actually Poloniex, I think it was, and the hack actually happened on Qcoin, but Poloniex did something with their Parsec that they had parked there, and kind of like made the price after they recover from the hack. People were buying this. They switched the main address of the contract, right? So where this Parsec PRQ existed, they switched that contract, right? So basically, the PRQ that were in the old contract were worthless, and Poloniex. It was weird because Poloniex is like a big OG exchange, but they still sold those, so it was like they were selling worthless coins, yeah. So the market is penalizing this. Now, what that does is like you get a project that has good fundamentals that the market is just dumping it because of other things. It's kind of like when people used to dump BTC because there was a hack on an exchange. Like, would you dump your dollars because somebody robbed the bank? No, right? So this is presenting opportunities. I think these three for today's are an amazing entry point. So with that, I hope that you got something useful out of the video. Anything you want to say, Lou?
Yeah, we tend to look for coins that can double your money or more, cause that's what it's about. Like,
Yeah, I see what you mean. This low caps coins, they can flip at any moment. So from 9 million to 18 million, this could happen in the cryptos. You know, with a few hit. I mean, at the same token, this can also drop 100, 90% or whatever. So do your own research. Trading is very difficult. Try to learn some fundamentals. Ask, and follow us always on Twitter. What is my Twitter? Lux13. What is your Twitter, Lou?
Lou Polanco Music.
There you go. Just look for the MJ background.
Ha.
All right, y'all.